The San Francisco 49ers have some roster moves that they have made, and they also have some additional practice reports that we will get to here in a second. But let's start with the roster moves. San Francisco 49ers have signed defensive end Austin Bryant to a one-year deal, and as a corresponding move, they released running back Jeremy McNichols. Now, if that name Austin Bryant sounds familiar to you, that's because he was on the San Francisco 49ers roster to start the season. He actually appeared in 2 games with the San Francisco 49ers. He only recorded 1 tackle, but with Clelin Ferrell likely going to be out with this game against the Packers, the 49ers needed some reinforcements at defensive end, so they bring in a guy that they have experience with. So no real surprise there. My take on Austin Bryant, he's 6'5", he's very lean. He's more of a kind of a speed rusher, in my opinion, not necessarily going to be one of your base down kind of defensive ends. He's a guy who can get around the edge and potentially get after the quarterback. But he's a little light, so we'll see how he integrates in with the San Francisco 49ers. He kind of bounced around the roster a little bit already, but he is back for the playoff run, and Jeremy McNichols, who's been on the active roster for a little bit, will likely kick back and be re-added to the practice squad as a guy who's contributed on special teams. So we'll see how this continues to progress, but it will be interesting because George Odom, who will likely be coming off IR tomorrow, the 49ers will need to make another roster move. So it'll be very interesting to see what that roster move is, but we'll have to wait and see for that coming up. There are some additional practice updates and some good news at that. So as you guys already heard, Christian McCaffrey is a full participant. You also had Eric Armstead come back in a limited fashion, as well as George Odom. We talked about George. He'll likely be activated off IR tomorrow. And then we also had Dre Greenlaw, who did not participate, Clelin Ferrell. But we do anticipate that Dre Greenlaw will practice tomorrow. So we'll continue to see how that plays out. But according to David Lombardi of The Athletic, we have 3 players that were full participants that all missed practice last week. We had Ji'Ayir Brown and Tashaun Gipson. Now, that is a huge get back for the San Francisco 49ers because as we saw at one point, the 49ers, 4 safeties in which they started the season with were not available in that final game against the Rams. So to be able to get those guys back, who are likely going to be the starter, is going to be very, very impactful, especially with Logan Ryan, who didn't practice today, who's dealing with a bit of an injury. So getting Ji'Ayir Brown and Tashaun Gipson back is absolutely huge for the 49ers. And not only that, Ambry Thomas is practicing as a full participant. If you don't recall, Ambry Thomas messed up his hand. I believe it was a break where he required surgery. That's why he didn't play against the Rams in that final game of the season. So we've been waiting to see if he was going to be available for the divisional round, and here we are. Ambry Thomas looks like he's going to be good to go, and you know, ever since the 49ers returned off the bye week and they made the adjustments of kind of taking Isaiah Oliver out, kicking Diamador Lenore into the slot in nickel packages and bringing Ambry Thomas in, the DBs have played really, really well. So it's good to see Ambry Thomas back. I would assume he would have some kind of soft cast or something like that. But good news, right? All things considered. When we recapped all the news today and gone through everything, 49ers are really healthy right now. And that was one of the main things that we talked about before the season even started. There's 2 things that we talked about. Number 1 seed and health. And right now, the San Francisco 49ers got both. So they get prepared for this big divisional round matchup against the Packers. Jordan Love, it's going to be a big one. I'm really looking forward to it. But silver lining is 49ers getting healthy, getting active at the right time. Let me know what you guys think about the roster move. Let me know what you guys think about all the updates that have come out from today. Let me know how you're feeling about this divisional round in the comments below. And as always, make sure to like and subscribe for more updates.